Panda Anthem.
Ian, what's up?
Red Panda Anthem.
Red Panda, what's good?
Red Panda Anthem.
It's your boy.
Going up.
Yeah, it's very interesting, the space that we're in. I want to take a step back if we can. And I know we spoke about this before, but there's new people. Can you just explain what an NFT is? Because I feel like there's still some people that have not a good understanding of what an actual NFT is.
The simplest way to understand it is it creates digital ownership. You understand me? Digital real estate, if you will. And there's a way where you can create and embed digital items on the internet, you understand me, that only you own, and you can transfer it to somebody else, and then they now have ownership. One of the issues that was solved with money was a double money problem, that you can't use the same money twice, right? That physical dollar solved that problem. If I give you one physical dollar, the transaction that validates it is now you have this dollar, it's yours. I no longer have it in my hand. But digitally, how do we do that? So on the blockchain, there's a transaction that takes place that say that Rashad uploaded a picture, and this picture said it comes with, one physical item, right? When Rashad uploaded, there is one mathematical equation that says that it's just his. It is in only his wallet. He has this digital wallet that he holds it in. The same way when a person owns a internet, a .com, you understand me, to where it say, hey, I own red.com. You cannot go and create red.com.
Yeah.
But if I can transfer red.com to your wallet, you now own it and I don't own it at all. So now here's this digital, you understand me, asset that is now transferable, right? And so the internet with Web 2 was, at first it was read only with Web 1. Then Web 2 was, you got HTTP, you understand me, which is basically a platform you can use to build on, right? And so by being able to build with that HTTP, www. Right, on the World Wide Web, you was able to create platforms that you own. I can bring people to this space that they can read what I got going on. Then it became a place where I can put videos and stream. This is my part of the internet that I own. You understand me? Beyond, the rules and the laws and regulations that the government can put on, the internet and cut me off, basically, who owns that ISSP, I believe it's called, right? So when you're talking about NFTs, you're talking about simply creating digital assets. You understand me? That can be owned, transferred, validated. You understand me? And can't be changed once they on the blockchain.
You broke down Web 1. Web 2.0. And so people keep hearing Web 3.0. And they keep hearing it and they don't have a clear understanding of it. Can you break down exactly what Web 3.0 is?
Web 3.0 is the ability to own your data, essentially. That's what Web 3 is about, owning your data. Even with a .com, you never own it. It's like a house. You always got a mortgage on it. You always got to pay taxes. You understand me? But now what you create on the internet, you can own. I can take that .com and I can take it off the internet and put it in my wallet where it don't even exist no more, right? With that, it's like with a .com, you got to continue to lease it, right? You understand me? You have to continue to refresh it. But the beauty of this is, and this is basically the shift that we're seeing all around the world, is all about ownership, me being able to own my data of what I put on this internet and nobody else can have it, because I can take something digitally, put it in my cold wallet, which is a physical wallet, and now it only exists in one place. So when you look at in Ukraine, people talking about crossing the border with physical dollars, that can be stolen. But if they can remember a password key in their head, you understand me, 15 words, then that means that they can take $1 billion across the border that nobody can take away from them. Because
my bad, brother. Go ahead.
Now, I'll just go say that last part is all you have to do any place in the world when you get some internet is log on to the internet. You understand me? Type in your phrase that you own that's connected to your wallet that will only open, you understand me? There's a phrase, a key phrase that will only open this account. Right?
Yeah.
So anywhere on the planet Earth, nobody else has access to it but the owner of that key. You own that. So you can literally have $1 billion that only exists in your head that nobody else can have access to unless they have access to that key that's connected to it. So literally the keys, no pun intended, was the key that started all of this when they was able to create them cryptographic keys. You understand me? That's what started the revolution of this whole blockchain space.
Yeah. So the key holder holds the spoils, right? So
yeah.
And that's why we try to talk to people, especially when we first got into space, when we had the nano ledgers, and it was like, there was a 20 code password to get in. Yeah. And it was like, well, it's cool if you write it down, but the most important thing is that you store it and you keep it in a safe place. Because if you lose that, there goes your wealth.
Get tattooed on the bottom of your foot.
Quick question for you. No economy or government has ever... That's funny.
It's Andy's toy.
No economy or government has ever been big on people having ownership. Do you think that the royalty or ownership model of Web3 is being introduced because the economy is slowly collapsing globally?
Yeah, and I think that, it's a part of the collapse of the government. You understand me? It's a collapse of society itself. Trust in the government is what allows us to take part of it because we trust that we can store our assets there and they will be safe, right? The banks never really earned our trust. They bought it. You understand me? They branded it. They created beautiful mausoleums of what looked like wealth, and we trusted those people that looked like money. You understand me? And so they gave us bank accounts, you understand me, credit cards, all of these different financial instruments, but we now no longer need them to have access to those financial protocols. We can use those on our own, right? And so the ability to manage your own wealth looks like basically I no longer have or I no longer have trust in the systems that used to manage it for me. So when the people no longer trust the native currency, that's hyperinflation. That means I no longer trust this government. They printing too much money and they doing too many things to put my future in their hands. So there are dystopian things that can happen from that though as well. So people have to be careful when we talk about CBDCs. I don't know if y'all want to get into that. But it's like when you look at China and they have those, what they call them, the social credit, you understand me, to where imagine if you go to the store, everything is digital. This is a dangerous part of everything being digital. You go to the store and you try to scan your phone to buy something. And they say, well, we will allow you to buy in our store once you stop posting so many things on the internet that we consider to be dangerous, right? That pops up on the screen. You understand me? And you're like, whoa. And then what you realize is your whole digital identity is connected to a system, which makes it somewhat easier to control people because now you may own it, but you won't be able to use it, right? And so the whole decentralized model is that to not put it back into those hands where people can control it and use it against you by giving you access or not giving you access.
So can we talk about how crypto plays a part in this? And maybe you could tie in Bored Ape, their crypto that they dropped.
Yeah, the Ape coin.
Yeah, the Ape coin, how crypto is playing a part in NFTs, Web 3.0 and all of that.
Well, it's the future of money, man. The future of money is these new currencies that's being circulated, right? It's interesting, even when I look at Tesla, I look at Amazon, I look at all these large companies, they are all deciding to make more and more and more of their own thing, right? Nobody can trust anybody to manage anything for them anymore, right? We talked about this earlier during the pandemic. When America has to go through China to get supplies and resources, you understand me, for masks and things of that nature and ventilators, that's dangerous. And when we look at what's happening with the sanctions on Russia, and they can put financial sanctions and, practice economic warfare, the other countries start to feel vulnerable. You understand me? Like, whoa, this same thing can happen to us. There's no country in the world that would look at that and be like, I want to be in that same position. No matter if you have a plan on invading somebody or what, it's a dangerous position to be in, not just for a country, for a human being. So there's a lot of people that's deciding to say, we look at what's happening in Canada. They freezing people because they want more social control over the people, right? All of these models is shifting people's mindset more towards these new DeFi protocols and tools. You understand me? And now people are deciding, well, I could use a physical dollar, right? It is a physical dollar, number one, is the most advanced use of money in a certain sense, right? It's automatically validated. It can't be tracked in a certain sense, right? It was a powerful thing that was created. So we're not just going to look at that as and overlook that. But what the future is going to is what money and what value even means, right? Like if I'm a part of a community and we have our own currency, the only thing that makes money real is belief in it, right? That I decide that I will
military
use it,
backing.
you decide you will use it. And the military backing, of course.
Yeah.
You understand me? Or intrinsic value connected to it, like when it was backed by gold, right? And we decided gold was valuable because of its scarcity. You understand me? But now if I'm an ape, right, it becomes a cultural thing. And they say that not only am I ape, I have an ape coin. I believe in this ape coin. It's backed by the community, the culture, the belief, right? And I can spend it at different places to buy things that I want. Imagine if that community and any community that has a project decide to make everything for their community to where you no longer have to go outside the community. This is how any people sustain themselves, is when you can produce everything you consume. You become a prosumer, right? So not only I have a community, I have currency, right? We have rituals, right? We have culture inside this. This is everything that we need. The people need what? Water, food, clothing. We create land, entertainment. You don't have to go outside us at all. Mm-hmm. You can buy everything here. That is a model for building a society. So as society falls, societies are being built in microcosms.
Real quick. So from an investment standpoint, we saw Bitcoin, obviously the most popular cryptocurrency, go over 45,000.
47.
47,000, up 15%.
I like that.
Ethereum is up 15%. And so there's some news, and we kind of told people about this, but the merge. Everybody's talking about the merge of Ethereum going from proof of work model to proof of stake model. Can you talk about the importance of that and what that means for Ethereum long term? Because a lot of people like, should I invest now? Should I invest now? A lot of people, they hear like, should I be bullish because of this merge? What's your take?
So they was going to call it Ethereum 2.0, and they decided they wasn't going to do that because they said the mental model of that is that people thought it was something separate, and it's not. You understand me? And there was already scams popping up of people saying that, yo, come over here. We got Ethereum 2.0, download your wallet here. So they decided to just call it Ethereum. Now, one thing that people have mistaken about this new merge is they think that it's going to lower gas prices, and it's not. You understand me? That's not what it was actually designed to do. What's going to happen most likely, number one, it's supposed to increase the amount of money you get from staking, right? I think they said there's like 10 million wallets right now that's currently staking Ethereum. I got my notes somewhere in here because this is the one thing that I did want to talk about because, you know, I put out my price prediction. I asked Ian, can I borrow his
send it to you first class.
I asked, can I borrow it? You know what I'm saying? I got permission first. And then I put out a price prediction and this price prediction is based on the fundamentals of the entire thing. It's not based on anything else. It's just based on looking at when this merge takes place, the amount of wallets that's going to be there, the type of protocol that's happening that is going to take the price up to a certain point. Now, the question you really want to ask yourself is, should I have money in there before the merge or after? Right? So the issue that was coming up was some people believe that you won't be able, if you stake right now, some people believe that you have to keep it staked till after the merge, right? So people not being able to take their money and not having control of your money is sometimes a very dangerous thing. But an argument on the pro side for it is that the possibility is that I think is at 4.5%. I want to get my notes for this because I don't want to get wrong on this. Because I was doing a whole study and a whole breakdown on this because this could be a great opportunity for a lot of people, right? So it won't change the gas fees.
Yep.
But the layer 2 scaling options is what you're talking about when you may see the gas fees change, right? And that's basically what people are using Ethereum and building on that blockchain with, right? Like Optimism, Arbitrum, and Polygon network, right? Those are where if you want to go into lower gas fees and you want to utilize Ethereum, then that's where you're going to be looking at, mostly in the Polygon network. Now, these are not as popular as Ethereum, right? But they have a lot of space for expansion right now. You understand me? And when you're talking about right now, the contract is called EIP 1559, and it has a burn rate of 1 million ETH per year. And so what this is doing is making it sound money to where it's deflationary, right? So they're trying to stabilize this money so they can have a model where as it's burning, more people are adopting it, more people are staking it, more people are taking their Ethereum off of these platforms and they holding it, right? That's stabilizing the money. And when you talk about just economic fundamental of supply and demand, it's going to grow the price of Ethereum, right? Now, modest levels of everything goes right over the next few months. You're looking at a minimum of $5,500, right?
Can I ask a question real quick to jump in?
Yeah, go ahead.
Contrarian.
Man, dude, hey, listen, man. That's what I'm here for.
I appreciate it. If most people figured out or discovered that JP Morgan has a considerable interest in Ethereum, do you think it'll still hit that price?
If JP Morgan has a considerable interest, I don't think the average person cares. I just think the average person want to make some money.
So do you think the whole argument about crypto being decentralized and people caring if it is bullshit, or was it a great talking point?
Let me just say something about that. I think the average person doesn't care if crypto is decentralized. That's crypto purists, and that's a very few people at this point in time. Most people are not crypto purists. Most people are crypto novice, including people that have a lot of money in crypto. They're not investing in cryptocurrency for the theoretical idea of decentralized. They invested in cryptocurrency because they think it's the wave of the future, and they see it as an opportunity to make money. That's just my own personal opinion. That's just the eye test that I see.
I agree.
I mean, look at the adoption rate in America. Then you got it across the world. Those same fundamental purist ideas are revolutionary, and the average person ain't revolutionary. Like, I would love for it to be decentralized, right? But the reality of it is all these platforms are about to do KYC. You understand me? They're coming under more scrutiny and more control. And I
tell them what KYC is?
Know your customer, to where you got to fill out the forms for identity. You understand me? There's platforms now where you can get some money on there, right? And you can automatically send money to somebody else or stake some money where you start earning interest on your money. And there's nobody that has to know your identity. You understand me? And what the government wants to do is they want to track it, because if they can track it, they can tax it. You understand me? And not only that, we're talking about data. You understand me? So if you have all of these people that's spending money, staking money, moving money in all these different places, and they can't track that data, then they can't capitalize off that data, spending habits, right? What people are thinking and doing with their money. So the issue that, any of these corporations have is they want to be able to monitor this shit and figure out algorithms that they can create to make sure that they can capitalize over every aspect of human capital. And what you do on a daily basis with your habits and your money is a very important metric of data that is used as a selling point. You understand me? So, with this Ethereum, and here's my thing is none of these things have to come into play, because if if the merge doesn't happen the right way, then it might not make it to that 5,500. You understand me? There's a lot of different things that have to come into play for that number to work. And then that really could be a smaller estimate, because once a lot of these institutions figure out these numbers, they're going to want to get in. And once they start buying into it, then you go see it really spike, right? And 5,500 is a low estimate. I think it can really go much higher than that, especially with Ethereum having such a powerful brand name, you understand me, in this space, right? And really the protocols around it, I think, because this, what they say is 10.6 million ETH staked. You understand me? That is a lot, right? And with this amount of ETH being burned, you just start looking at the fundamentals of possibility, right? And it's a great possibility that it can rise. But we live in a world of who knows what tomorrow will be.
Yeah. And I'm glad you ended with that, because uncertainty, like you said, it's like a different level of engineering when you're trying to do something like this. And there's no timetable. So like they could ask you, when do you think it's going to happen? It's not going to happen until it's ready.
Nah.
Like that's the real answer.
I mean, it's not up to Vitalik. You understand me? Right. Listen, this is like every major player in the world has a stake, no pun intended, in this space right now. I'm talking about people with billions, infinite. Like when you talk about billions, you're talking about people who have an infinite amount of money at their disposal. That's what we're talking about.
So these hedge funds.
Yeah, you're talking about the BlackRocks of the world and all of these families that everybody talk about in conspiracies. Don't you think they want to have their hand in making sure that they have consistent control and it's never going into the hands of the people where they don't know what the future go be? Absolutely. So they are planning. And at the end of the day, the beauty of it is just that there exists opportunity to where we can benefit off some of it and we can use the technology for ourselves. And then the aspect of investing world is just saying that the more understanding I have, I can make better decisions for me and my portfolio and my family. So the information is just to help you make decisions on what you want to do with your money next.
It's almost 8,900 people, almost 9,000 people on YouTube. 8,900 people on YouTube, almost 9,000. Hit the like button.
What's the record?
13,000.
Oh, no,
13,000, yeah.
Let me
Put out the back hole.
Y'all wildin'.
But
I go grab the leather jacket.
Go get the leather jacket, B. Let's go get it. I'll choose violence. I'll go Will.
We pushing 9. We haven't seen 9,000 in a minute. So, 9,000 is a good number.
You want me to get the jacket or no? I got some.
Get the jacket, please.
This that. Red Panda Anthem.
Ian, what's up?
This that. Red Panda Anthem.
Red Panda,
This
what's
that.
good?
Red Panda Anthem. Whole foot going up. I know they can't stand it.